All right, let's jump right in. We're about to explore a message that's almost 200 years old, but you're going to see it feels like it could have been written just for us, for today.
I mean, it's a pretty big question, isn't it? Can a vision from the 19th century really hold the answers to our incredibly complex modern problems? Well, that's the core of what we're going to get into.
You know, there's this great metaphor used to describe the feeling back then, that the world was waiting for a new operating system for humanity. And I think that just nails it. The old systems were buggy, they were crashing, and everyone could feel it. Humanity needed a total reboot.
So, to really get a feel for this, you have to picture the 19th century. I mean, the world was just churning. The Industrial Revolution was turning everything upside down. Science was exploding with new discoveries. All the old rules were breaking. And in that kind of atmosphere, there was this almost electric feeling in the air, a hope that someone, some new voice, would show up and help make sense of it all.
And right into that supercharged environment, that's where the message of Baha'u'lláh comes in. So let's get right to the heart of it. His entire vision, everything he taught, it's all built on just three fundamental pillars.
Yup, just three. That's it. At the absolute core of this whole vision for humanity is this incredibly simple but powerful number. 3 ideas, 3 truths that all lock together to create a totally new way of seeing the world.
And here they are. Really simple, right? One God, one humanity, and one religion. They sound simple, but trust me, the implications were, and still are, absolutely revolutionary. So let's break each one down.
Okay, so pillar number 1, one God. Now, this isn't just about saying there's only one God. It's bigger than that. It's the idea that there's a single, universal source for everything, a creative force that's been communicating with us, with humanity, through different prophets and messengers all throughout history.
All right, pillar number 2. And this one, wow, for its time, this was just explosive. The idea of one humanity. You got to remember, this was a time of empires, of aggressive nationalism, of really deep-seated racial divisions. So to stand up in the middle of all that and say, nope, we're all one single human family, that was a radical, game-changing idea.
And nothing captures this idea better than this quote from Baha'u'lláh. It's so simple, but it just hits you. The earth is but one country, and mankind its citizens. I mean, it just cuts through all the noise, doesn't it?
And that brings us to the third pillar, one religion. The thinking here is that fundamentally, there's only one religion. It's like a single great story that unfolds over time. The different messengers, Moses, Buddha, Christ, Muhammad, they're like different chapters in the same book, each one adapting the core message for the people and the challenges of their specific time.
Okay, so we've got these 3 huge ideas, right? One God, one humanity, one religion. But what do you do with them? How does that actually work in the real world? Well, that's where this goes from philosophy to a practical blueprint for society.
And that's the key takeaway here. This isn't just some abstract philosophical thing to think about. These principles are meant to be a guide, a real foundation for how we actually live our lives, from you and me as individuals, all the way up to how we structure the entire world. And what's so cool is how it all flows together, like a waterfall. It starts with you, the individual, and this idea that you have to search for truth on your own. Once you start doing that, it logically leads to the next step for society. You have to get rid of all your prejudices. And if you're doing that, well, then you have to look at the economy and fix the massive gap between the rich and the poor. And the final, ultimate step? You realize you need a new way of organizing politics, some kind of global system of governance to actually guarantee peace for everyone.
Now, to really appreciate how ahead of its time this all was, let's do a quick side-by-side. Let's compare the world then to the world right now.
And this is where it gets a little spooky, because the parallels are just striking. Back in the 19th century, you had a world run by empires, by aggressive nationalism. Talking about world unity was crazy talk. Okay, now look at today. What are we dealing with? A huge resurgence of nationalism, conflicts all over the globe, and economic inequality that's just tearing us apart. It's eerily the same set of problems.
And that's exactly why this message feels so incredibly urgent right now. It's not that the message is old, it's that our modern problems have kind of caught up to it, making it more relevant than ever before. The diagnosis he gave for the world's problems, honestly, it was prophetic.
So, where does this all lead? What's the end game? This brings us to the ultimate goal of this whole vision, and really the big challenge that it puts right in front of us today.
The goal is this idea called organic unity.
And this is such a powerful concept. It's not about just tolerating each other or, peacefully coexisting. It's deeper. It's a unity that works like a living body. Or maybe a better way to think about it is a symphony orchestra. You don't just tolerate the sound of the violins and the cellos. You need their different voices. That difference is what makes the music beautiful. That's the idea here. Our diversity isn't some problem we have to solve. It's literally the source of our strength.
So in the end, what we have here is a vision. It's a map. It shows us a possible destination for humanity. But it's not self-driving, It doesn't just happen. The journey, the actual work of getting there, well, that's our challenge. That's the great task for our time.
And so that leaves us with this big open question. We have the map. We understand the diagnosis of the problem. But when you look around at our world, a world that still feels so broken and divided, what's the real path forward? How do you even begin to take the first step on that journey?